Good morning and welcome to the session on reasoning. Yesterday we discussed the data interpretation and the data sufficiency part. I told you yesterday that there are three basic areas in aptitude which are generally asked. One was the data interpretation part and the data sufficiency part. The second is the reasoning part and the third is the quantitative aptitude part. Out of these three areas, the majority of questions are asked from the reasoning part. You must have seen the CSAT papers for the last 4 years. Majority of the questions are asked from here. This also, the number of questions asked in these two sections combined is less than the number of questions asked in the reasoning section. Clear? So, if you see the breakup of the paper, you will see around 36 to 37 questions from the comprehension and the English part. The rest of the 40 questions or 43 questions will come from these three areas. Out of these 43 or 43 questions, around 27 of them, 26 to 27 of them will come from the reasoning areas. So, we can say around 60 to 65% of the questions comes from the reasoning area of the CSAT part. Clear or not? Okay. Now, the main areas that are tested in the reasoning section is that are asked in the reasoning section is the series, question series and coding decoding. Now, what do you mean by series questions? Right? Series questions can be number series, can be letter series, can be a combination of number as well as letter series. Right? A very simple question of number series could be 1, 4, 7. What is the next? What is the next number? It will be 10. But the questions will not be that simple at all. It might be the case that 1A, 4D, 7G. What is the next? Clear? Right? So, questions like these might come. Now, extend this idea to the series questions in non-verbal reasoning as well. Like it might be the case that okay, there's one arrow pointing here, there are 4 arrows pointing. What will be the next? Right? What will be the next figure? It will be 7 arrows. So, the pattern recognition part is tested in the non-verbal reasoning part and it borrows its idea from these kind of questions only. Right? The questions in series can be what is the next letter or number, right? Also, which out of this series, which is the wrong one, which is the wrong number or which is the wrong letter, right? This also can come. Okay. Variety of questions can come in the series part, which is the odd one out, that also can come. If there are 5 or 6 letters in a series, the questions might ask you that mark option A if only one is wrong, if only one number is wrong. Mark B if 2 letters or 2 numbers are wrong. Mark C if both are right. Mark D if both are wrong. So, something like these questions can come in the series area, right? Same is the case with the coding decoding part. So, can I give you one question on series, a little good one, a little good question series? Okay. So, try to do this one. Can you tell me what is the next number of this series? Think a little bit. It is a little tough one, right? Questions cannot be that easy. If the topic is very easy, the questions will be a little tricky to understand. Can you tell me which is the Yes. A hint to this question is, it cannot be the case that only it will be a difference of these or some of this, and then only the next number will come. Double the number, then add the prime numbers. Okay. So 77's double is 154, and add a prime number will be something this. But the hint for this question is, it is related to prime numbers. Everybody knows what's a prime number, right? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Clear or not? So, but it is related to prime numbers only. So, no, 165 is not the answer, but how have you done? Can you please tell me? Right. So if I say 2 into 3, then 3 into 5, then 5 into 7, then 7 into 11, then 11 into 13, then the next will be 13 into 17, whatever the number, that will be the answer. What is 17 into 13? It is 221. So this will be your answer. So questions on series, it will not be a straightforward case that the next number will be arithmetic difference or arithmetic addition or subtraction or multiplication of that. It can be a manipulation of this individual terms as well, and that may follow a pattern. Clear or not? Yes, this will come by practice only. As much questions as you practice, it will come. Right? Questions have come, but very less questions have come on series, but it is a topic that can be asked. Right?
But there should be first we should check this if there is addition, subtraction or multiplication.
It is commonly everybody goes through that phase only. Ki, okay, you have to check the addition or multiplication. If that doesn't figure it out, you cannot figure out that funda, then you have to look within the term, and then you have to see something comes out from that. So this will come by practice. So the counter to this is, it may take a lot of time to solve this, and the returns are very low, because if you invest say 5 minutes on this question and say 6 or 7 minutes on a set based question of 3 or 4 questions, I think that will fetch you more returns than this questions only. Clear or not? So you should avoid at first place. Right? A coding decoding kind of question, a much easy topic as compared to series. Coding decoding means if the code for say God is F, P and E, what is the code for any other number? So any other, say man, what is the code for man? So you are saying ki G H, it is HPE, G is HOPDE. So what is the next letter? It can be a case that if the code of God is HPE, what is the decoded form of man? So then you have to subtract one place. Are you getting it? So questions can be like this as well. So coding, decoding and series. The third kind of the second kind will be on blood relation. There can be two kinds of questions on blood relation. Either this will be a straight case of question pointing towards a photograph. A man says that his mother is the daughter of my mother. Then what is the relation between man and the photograph? Then you have to follow certain logic. There can be multiple kind of questions, multiple set based questions. There are 6 people, there are 3 generations, they follow different professions. A is not a teacher, A is not a female, B is not an engineer, B is not a male, and something like this. All these patterns, then you have to crack the logic. So the returns on those questions are much more, because it's a set based question. Right? The third kind will be on direction. Right? He goes a man goes 5 meters east, then 10 meters west, then 2 meters north and all that, then now where is he with respect to his original position? Clear or not? So these kind of questions are asked in the direction part. The fourth one is syllogisms. Questions on syllogism come a lot. All A's are B's, some B's are C's, some C's are D's. So we have got 2 questions here in the exercise. We'll attempt that according to proper funda, right? Syllogism. So tell me how many conclusions follow. So there will be a statement, 1 or 2 statements, followed by 2-3 conclusions, and the options will be something like this. Only conclusion 1 follows, 1 and 2 follows, 1, 2 and 3 follows, none follows, right? So questions on syllogisms come like this, right? Then the questions on logical reasoning. Questions on logical reasoning come a lot. Now we will discuss the logical reasoning part in a much more lucid way, right? What is logical reasoning like? Sorry. What is logical reasoning like? The questions on logical reasoning will be principally on arrangements, right? So arrangement question can be, say 6 people are sitting on 6 chairs, right? And there are 3 males and 3 females, right? Near every female there is a male, right? There is a gap of say 6 people, 6 persons, 6 males names are M1, M2 and M3, and 3 females, and 3 females are F1, F2 and F3. And then there will be a case, lots of cases, M1 sits near F2, M2 sits near F3, M3 does not want to sit near F1. All these cases will be given. There can be riders associated with the cases as well, like if they say there is a gap of 1 seat between M1 and F1. So what can be the possibility? It will be M1 space F1 or F1 space M1. Now which is correct depends on the next condition which is given subsequently, right? If they say there is a gap of at least 1 seat between M1 and F1, what does that mean? It means it may be more than 1. M1 at least 1 seat means M1 F1, M1 dot dot F1, M1 dot 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 F1, and there will be 4. There is a gap of at most 1 seat between M1 and F1. So either it will be M1 and F1 will be together, or there is a gap of 1. So you have to array, you have to see what conditions is given. Now this will, you will crack these questions only if you see the next and subsequent conditions. Clear out? So be very careful with the letters, with the words which is given in the logical reasoning questions. Arrangements can be linear as well, arrangements can be circular as well, right? So if a circular arrangement is considered, if I say A, B, C, D and say E, F, 6 people are sitting over here. We can say that D is to the left of C, E is to the left of D. We can also say C is to the right of D, B is to the right of C. So when you move leftwards, you move clockwise. When you move rightwards, you move anti-clockwise. This you can remember in the circular arrangement kind of question. So arrangements can be linear as well as circular. There can be questions on scheduling of classes as well, like 6 lectures are scheduled on a day and 6 professors P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6 will take those lectures. P1 does not want to start the whole day, right? P6 likes to leave early. All these conditions will be given. Then you will be asked which lecture is taken by which professor. Normally the sets can be deterministic, can be non-deterministic as well. Deterministic means based on the logic given over there, you can crack the whole set, that who sits where or who comes for which lectures. The non-deterministic sets can be the clues given will not fully complete the question. Then on subsequent conditions given in the question, new set of reasoning or new set of conditions come, and based on that, then that thing you have to crack the logic, right? So these kind of questions are asked in this right. Statement conclusion, statement assumptions questions are not asked. Basically these kind of questions are asked only, right? There can be miscellaneous kind of questions as well. Miscellaneous means a man is sitting 5 places to the left of a female, right? If they interchange places now, what will be the position of that man with respect to the woman? And there are 40 students sitting in a row, right? There can be questions, miscellaneous questions. There can be questions on matrix based reasoning as well, which means, right, 1, 2 and 5, 3, 4 and say 25, 5, 6, what is the value of this? You can say this number is the square of these two numbers, this number is the square of these two numbers, so this has to be the square of these two numbers. It's a very simple question I am giving, right? There can be questions on matrix based reasoning as well, right? There can be question non-verbal reasoning, which I just told you some time back, which is the odd one out, which figures complete the whole figure. So these kind of, you need a lot of practice, right? One thing which I forgot is the questions on cube and dices. Now questions on cubes and dices could be something like this. A cube is given, say a 3 centimeter cube is given, and then it is colored on all sides by say green color. It is then cut into 1 centimeter cubes, and then the questions will be asked with something like this: how many cubes have only one face painted, how many cubes have 2 face painted, how many cubes have 3 face painted, how many cubes have no face painted. The idea can be extended to a cuboid as well. In place of cube, the cuboid can also come, right? The questions on dices will be something like this: dice, different different diagrammatic situation of dice is given. This is a P, Q, R, this is Q, P, S. Another situation will be given. Then you will be asked, R, what comes opposite R or what comes opposite S? So then you have to analyze also. That we will discuss when we do this exercise question, right? So these kind of questions are asked in the reasoning part. You need practice. There are no set formulas here. Only practice will make you efficient in this section. In DI, with what we did, you need practice, but you needed a little bit of calculative abilities as well. Here you just need practice. You can crack these questions easily. Okay. So what we are going to do is to do a small exercise of say 30 questions, but I will give you 20 minutes. Please don't attempt all 30, otherwise it will not be possible. But if you attempt all those 30 questions in 20 minutes, most of them you will get wrong. So try to focus on the efficiency part while attempting the set, right? So let's have a 20-minute exercise, and then we will discuss on this exercise after 20 or 25 minutes, right? Okay, let's start this exercise and then we will discuss it. ठीक है. हेलो 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 Should we start now? Okay, welcome back, and we are starting a discussion of the reasoning part which I just gave you some time back. Okay, so there, as you are seeing, we are about to do the exercise discussion for that. Okay, as you are seeing, I have written order of attempts, which question you should attempt first and which question you should attempt next. My suggestion is attempt the single questions first, which are looking easy. By the look of it, most of the questions I see are easy in the single questions, barring one or two which creates confusion, like the blood relation questions. So if you want to avoid those blood relation questions among the single questions, please avoid this on the first go. And the rest of the questions you can attempt straight away. Okay, so if I start with an easy question, single question, first one is 10th question. I think this is a very easy question. Southeast becomes north, so which means if I draw the direction, it's north, south, east, west. So southeast, okay, southwest, northwest, and northeast. Clear or not? So if this becomes north, which means everything gets shifted by 135 degrees, 90 and 45 is 135 degrees. So west will get shifting. What will west become? So west on shifting by 135 will become what? Southeast. Okay. So hence the answer for this 10th one will be C. Sorry, southwest, not southeast. Southwest. Southeast. Sorry, southeast will be the answer. On shifting by 135 degrees, it will be this position, right? Hence the answer for 10th one will be C option, option number C, right? Then we move on to a little tricky question, knowing the concept part first. It says 8th one, any day and date in September has the same day and date in which date? So if you write the days starting from Jan, Feb, let me explain you the concept fully. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, let me write it here, September, October, November and December. So Jan, how many days are there? 31. If you minus 28 days, which are the 4 weeks, so how many days are left in Jan? 3. So those are the 3 odd days for Jan. Feb, how many odd days are there? It will be either 0 or 1. March will be 3, April will be 2, right? May will be 3, June will be 2, July will be 3, August will be 3, September will be 2, October will be 3, November will be 2, December will be 3. So whenever there is a gap of 7 days between 2 months, then that subsequent, the 4th or 3rd or 4th month or whatever month it comes, that day and date has to be the same. So if you see, September has 2 odd days, 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 2 is 7. So 7 means 1 week, which means 0. So September and December are same. So any day and date in September is the same day and date in December. Can you tell me any further that you can see here? March and June. Any further that you can see here? Pairing. April and July. April and July. So April and July. September and December. Any other that you can find it out? You are thinking only in terms of 7. It can be 14, it can be 21 as well. Okay. Right, if it is a leap year. So irrespective of whether it's a leap year or no leap year, this will always be true. April and July will always be same. September and December. So there is the if condition associated, then we have to, then it's a condition based. Otherwise, you can also see 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 3, 13, 13 plus 3, 16, 18 plus 3 is 21. So 21 means what? 3 weeks. So 21, so March and November will also be same. So these are 3 pairings that you can see. So concept is cleared via one question. Okay, right? Single questions. If you come to question number 13, okay, let me do it orally, then it becomes much more easy. In a row of 14 girls, when Kamal was shifted to her left by 4 places, her number from the left end of the row became 10. So previously it was 14, it must be 14. What was the number of Sujata from the right end of the row? This is left, this is right, right? From the right end of the row, if Sujata was 3 places to the right of Kamal's original position. So if Kamal was 14 in the original position, Sujata was 17. Now commonly the students will do the mistake as the position of Sujata will be 40 minus 17, which is 23. That is not correct. It will be 24. If you are third in the class, right? If you are third in the class, if your rank from the top is 3, your rank from the bottom will be what? 0? No. If it is in the 3 students, if there are 3 students in the class and you are placed third from the top, so you are placed first from the bottom, not 0 from the bottom. So then you have to add 1 again. So that's why 13th question, the answer will be 24, and hence the answer will be none of these. Understood the concept? Right? 14th one, 14 and 15 questions are relatively same. So I should go for those 14 and 15 questions. The order of 14, what is the rank of P? He is the tallest because P is taller than R, but not shorter than T and U. So P has to be taller than R, and Q is taller than R, S, T, U. So Q is taller than R, S, T, U, but not as tall as P. So Q is less than P. So P has to be the tallest. So answer for that will be option number D. Okay. 5 students participated in the scholarship exam. A scored higher than B, C scored lower than D but higher than A, E scored between B and A. Who scored lowest in the examination? The order will be what? D is more than C, is more than A, right? And E is more than B, right? So an E scored between B and A. Okay, so the lowest in the examination is B only. Correct? Okay, so answer for 15th will be B option. 16th question. Ramesh remembers that his brother's birthday is after 15 but before 18, whereas his sister remembers that his brother's birthday is after 16 but before 19. So after 15, so 16, 17. After 16 but before 19, so 17 and 18. So 17 is the common date, so the answer for this will be 17th. No problem here? Okay. Now come to question number 17. She walks 25 meters. I think you should do this question towards south. Suresh walks 25 meters towards south. That is also an easy question, towards south. Okay. So you should draw this, you should be very clear with this direction diagram, north, south, east and west. Right, then he turns to his left. So in left, where will he go? This direction or this direction? Right, 20 meters. So having come here, he turned to his left and walked 25 meters. This one again. Right, and then he turned to his right. So having come here, his right is this one. So it's 15 meters. So 20 and 15 is how much? 35 meters. So at what direction is he from the starting point? 35 meters from the starting point, it is east direction. This is the east direction. So he is 35 meters in the east direction. Clear or not? Now let us attempt some good ones, some very good questions in the set based questions, which I liked it. Question number 1 to 5. That is also, you can say, an easy question. I just told you some time back that in clockwise somebody's left is clockwise, somebody's right is anti-clockwise, right. So here you can see here C is sitting exactly between A and F. So we can say, that F whatever A, or it can be F or A and gap. This is C here. This can be possible, right. You can mark anything, A or F, F or A. B is sitting 2 places to the left of E. So B is sitting 2 places to the left of E. So F, A and C are fixed. So B is sitting 2 places to the left of E. So E is here, and what is this? This has to be what? Let me check it out. D is sitting 2 places to the right of F. So obvious, if D is here, has to be here, and D is sitting 2 places to the right of F. So this has to be F here. If this is F, then this has to be A here, and this is the position. And then you can attempt all the questions. Between which 2 persons is D sitting? B and E. Who is sitting opposite A? B. Which of the following is A's neighbor to his right? C. Who is sitting opposite E? F. Between which of the 2 persons is F sitting? C and B. Relative position you should know. Now carrying forward a similar idea, the linear arrangement question is given in question number 6, right. And what is the positions? S and Z are at the